You know when a person is screwed, they lash out at everything and everyone around them. And this is the case, obviously, for Donald Trump. Apparently, I have to laugh at this. Apparently, Donald Trump is going to sue cable news network CNN. Oh man. And he's suing them for nearly $500 million. And the reason why is because CNN and other networks have been using the phrase the big lie to describe Trump's actually lies about the 2020 election. That it was stolen from him, although all evidence shows that the election was not stolen from him, that he lost. And oh God, this is just, oh my Lord, this is just bad. This is bad. This is just really bad. And the reason I'm laughing is because Donald Trump is a moron. You can't, you have to, you have to see, here's the introduction from the lawsuit. Excuse me. The plaintiff, Donald J. Trump, has been a longtime critic of the defendant, cable news network CNN, not because CNN does a bad job of reporting the news, but because CNN seeks to create the news. Fake news, as the plaintiff characterized in public statements, beyond simply highlighting any negative information about the plaintiff and ignoring the positive information about him. CNN has sought to use its massive influence perpetually as a trusted news source to defame the plaintiff in the minds of its viewers. Oh God. Oh, for the purposes of defaming politically, culminating in CNN claiming credit for getting Trump out in the 2020 presidential election. CNN campaigns of disinformation in the form of libel and slander against the plaintiff. Oh, okay, just moving on. Only escalated in recent months as the CNN fears that the plaintiff will run for president in 2024 as a part of his concerted effort to tilt the political balance to the left. CNN is trying to take the plaintiff. Ever more scandalous, false, and defamatory uh, labels of racist, Russian lackey, insurrectionist, and ultimately Hitler. ah, the pain, the pain, the pain. oh, I think I'm gonna have a heart attack. And moving on with the lawsuit. Even though actual malice standard is met here in circumstances like these, the judicially created policy of the actual malice standard should not apply because ideological homogeneity in the media or in the channel's information and distribution risks repressing certain ideas from the public consensus just as sure as it were addressed by the government. Suits like these do not throttle the First Amendment, they violate the First Amendment's marketplace of ideas. Oh my God. Are you really serious, Trump? Are you serious? Are you really that stupid? Obviously, you are. Because in case you don't know, and in case you didn't know, whatever, in case you don't know, if you bring this lawsuit to a judge, and sooner or later they're going to have you testify. And Trump one last thing. You can't be like Dave Chappelle and take the fifth every time you open your mouth. Every time a question is asked, I plead the fifth. I plead the fifth. You can't do that, Trump. You have to answer the questions fully and directly. Oh, man. And it just keeps getting worse. It just keeps getting worse for him. This lawsuit is completely baseless. Sooner, and here's the thing though, in discovery, not only will Trump have to testify, but a lot of records from Trump are going to have to be subpoenaed, which means he's screwed. I mean, he's already screwed considering the fact he's been after CNN. But his unfortunately, they tried to invoke Hitler into this lawsuit, saying that the big lie was akin to saying a directly employed tactic by Adolf Hitler, saying saying that Hitler's famous saying, "The bigger the lie, the more they believe it." But it just, but line 26 of this is why was what really I think is what's really going to either help Trump or destroy Trump. On June 15th, 2022, CNN's new chairman and chief executive officer, Chris Leith, reportedly held a conference with top CNN producers in which he expressed his displeasure with the use of the big lie. Since then, CNN on-air personalities, including the big guys, John King, Jack Tapper, John Avalon, Breonna Taylor, and Don Lemon, among others, have continued to use the phrase in describing the plaintiff and the plaintiff's questions of election integrity, despite an apparent admission from their chief executive officer. Now, that might help Trump, but it's not going to help him in the way that he's hoping, that Trump is hoping. Let me put it that way. This is probably going to end up hurting Trump at some point, and the pain for Donald Trump is just going to get worse. But the fact is this: Donald Trump, if this lawsuit goes through, Donald Trump is A, going to have to testify, and B, his records are going to be under subpoena. If I were a lawyer in this thing defending CNN, that is the first thing I'm going to do is write a motion to have all of this subpoenaed. And once those records are out are shown in the light of day, Donald Trump's lawsuit is kaput. Now he may get a few thousand here or there, whatever, maybe, but it's not going to work. And that brings me to this next lawsuit. Trump decided to release this statement. Oh God, it's just bad. Now again, he talks about the lawsuit about against CNN about the big lie, but apparently he also talks about quoting him, in the coming weeks and months, we will also be filing a lawsuit against a large number of other fake media companies for their lies, defamation, blah 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 blah. In evidence of the attack on the presidential election of 2020, blah 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 blah. Likewise, may bring appropriate action against the Unselect Committee of January 6 because, notwithstanding overwhelming evidence, they refused to investigate massive presidential election fraud which took place, but only investigate and harass the people and patriots who complained and asked questions about it. The rig and stealing of our presidential election was perhaps the crime of the century, and take a look at what's happening in our country now. Oh my God. And just ending this, the Unselect Committee has refused to acknowledge, as was done with the Biden Inspector General and the Department of Defense and others, that the days ahead of January 6, I recommended and authorized the thousands of troops to be deployed and to ensure that there is peace and safety and security at the Capitol and throughout the country. The offer of the National Guard was rejected by the Speaker of the House, Nancy Pelosi, and Mayor Bowser of Washington, D.C. The law requires their request, and they fail to make one, in turn fail the country. I'm proud to file today's lawsuit, to begin the process of standing up to the fake news and mainstream media. Trump, this lawsuit, oh my God, are you really, to quote you, Trump, do you have a death wish? I'm not threatening you like you did with Mitch McConnell. I'm asking a simple, honest to God question. Do you have a death wish? If you bring this lawsuit, all of it's going to be in the open. The investigations into January 6th, your claims of a stolen election, and already we have mountains of evidence showing that you are the one who tried to steal the election. You and your compatriots and you, your sycophants, like Rudy Giuliani and Sidney Powell. We already, a week or so ago, we saw videos of Georgia poll workers loyal to you, trying to steal votes for you. The phone call you personally made to the Georgia Secretary of State Brad Raffensperger to steal votes away from Biden and give them to you. All of that is going to come out. Do you really have a death wish? You must have a death wish. And again, I am not threatening Donald Trump. But honestly, I had to ask that question because it feels like to me you're looking for a way out, a quick way out. And frankly, the only way for you to get out of this is by taking the easy way out. And I'm not saying what I'm going to say because I could be sued or it could be charged legally, but I think you know what the way out is. If that's the case, then get out. But Trump, this lawsuit crap is not going to work. The first lawsuit against CNN is nothing more than just a money grab. That's all it is. That's all it is. You kept lying through your teeth about the election. And all those lies, if this continues on to the courtroom stage, all those lies are going to be put out in the open. And you can't do anything about it but tell the truth about it. And since you're nothing more than a liar, you plead the fifth, the lawsuit is over. Now, as for your plans to try to sue the January 6th Select Committee, it's not going to work. And even if you brought it to court, all of it on discovery is going to be there. And here's the thing: you can't refuse any of the subpoenas for either lawsuit. You can't refuse, Trump. You're putting a noose around your own neck. And quite honestly, I'm having fun watching you hang yourself day in and day out. All you're trying to do is stay relevant. You know you're not going to win anything, and you're not going to win these lawsuits. But in all seriousness and honesty, you need to walk away before you say or do something, before your lawyers say or do something. Because let's get this out of the air. Have you noticed that most of the lawyers that Donald Trump has hired, in any case he has, have been women? Now, I'm not saying that to defend women or anything else like that, but have you noticed that? He's not picking them because of their lawyering skills or their legal sense, especially with people like Eileen Haba, who's probably going to lose her law license and be disbarred by the time this is over. But we all know why he's doing this with these women.
Hey, shut the fuck up! I'm trying to masturbate!
The fact is, Trump, you're destroying yourself, and I'm enjoying every second of it watching you hang. But keep this up. You won't have to worry about 2024. You have to be worried about you dying in prison. CTP know the truth. God bless. Peace to the left, justice to the right.